Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be continuing our look at the Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine subscription from Hachette Publications and Games Workshop. Now, this is about issues 15 through 18, including the first bonus shipment for the premium subscription. Now, before we get started, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. There, in addition, are affiliate links down below. If you'd like to help out the channel, we would absolutely appreciate it, but no obligation whatsoever. All right, so first thing, I do have to apologize if everything sounds weird or it's a little off. I did just get a couple of fillings, and I was unable to record this before I went to the dentist, but I'd like to get it out for you guys today. So, we are still recording. Please forgive any issues there may be with my voice or any pronunciation. In addition, I would like to apologize to everyone. I have not been able to do my painting streams. My work schedule has been absolutely nuts and working 6 days a week and 10+ hour shifts. So it's really good for the pocketbook, but it's not so great for a sleep schedule and making sure that I can get some extra streams in. So those will be coming back. I do have a goal that by the time these magazines are all delivered, I would like to have everything painted. And I'd also like to get these moving before we move into the next couple of combat patrols. So a little bit of housekeeping out of the way. Thank you for being patient with me. But with that said, let's go ahead and flip over and take a look at what they shipped us this month. Now, keep in mind, for the first two combat patrols, it is Space Marines and Tyranids. So usually you're going to get a little bit of a mix between the two different factions. So, first up we have issue number 15, which is the Tyranid Psychophage. So obviously we get our model. For such a big creature, let's slide that over because we're not ready for that yet. For such a big creature, I'm actually kind of shocked that it's only one sprue. 2 body halves, couple of legs. So, I mean, overall it looks good. Actually, that's some amazing detail right there. Just all these, I guess I could get it closer. Yeah, all those little teeth. Same over on this side. So overall, I mean, it's a good looking model. I'm just kind of shocked that it's just, you know, typically for a monster, I'd expect at least like a couple of frames, maybe a couple of options, but this was originally part of the Leviathan box set, so definitely designed a little bit more for new players, so I get that, but anyways, regardless, still a cool looking, at least on sprue. I mean, obviously we've got the art right here. Looks like it has the big oval base, so that's going to be fun to build and get on the ADHD build shorts. All right, let's look at these extras. Looks like it's some reference cards and more information for the learn to play. So, okay, so we got some good stuff here. I actually like this kind of stuff where it's designed to help the new player. You know, yeah, it's not as cool as having like 3D elements, but it's fine. All right, for the magazine, what do we get? All right. How to build the Psychophage. And obviously how to paint the Psychophage. A lot of details. Look like we've got some Space Marine bits as part of it. We've got some fiction. And then we've got more basic. So looks like the instructions are for the benefit and how to use cover, when rules will ignore cover, benefit of cover. Let's see. And then we've got the battle line scenario. So now we're getting more into like the actual play where you're going to have, you know, set up in different deployment zones. Again, move and shoot, dealing with your terrain. And how to get to a victory. So, overall, not bad. So that is issue 15. All right. For 16, we've got our batch of paint for this issue, or this shipment. So we've got Squig Orange and Mephiston Red. We've also got the Junior Assistant. Just woke up from a nap. Seriously, why do they get naps and I don't? All right, I apologize for that, folks. Apparently, some children are hungry when they wake up from a nap. Who figured? Anyways, let's keep going. All right, so issue 16, obviously, if we're getting paint, we're going to get more paint instructions. So, how to add red to your model. So, it looks like we're going to put it on different hoses, the cape, the haft. Haft? Now I'm feeling really dumb for not knowing the handle, the axe handle. There we go. We're going to call it that. Looks like we're going to do a couple of sergeant helmets, red eyes. Anyway, so adding in lots of little details to, you know, obviously we've got our work in progress, so where you should be at, which I am definitely not at yet. And then our work in progress for the Tyranids. More Ultramarines fiction, more Silver Templars fiction, more background on High Fleet Leviathan, special abilities. Okay, cool. So we're starting to expand into this. So Deadly Demise, Feel No Pain, Ignores Cover, Anti-X and Devastating Wounds, Shared Keywords. Scenario 12, the Psyker Eater. Okay, so we've got the Psychophage going after the Librarian, obviously. So, I do like how they're stepping these up. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do for the next combat patrols, to see how they adapt the background and the instructions for those. All right, so for 17, we're going to get the first part of 10 Termagants and another Ripper Swarm. So these are similar to the last. Actually, I think these are the same as the last batch. Okay, yeah. So if we zoom in, you can see little pegs here on the tails where the rippers will stick together. And then pegs to go into the base. So, yeah, these are definitely the same models that we got last time. But it's Tyranids. You need a swarm of rippers. So that's not really surprising. So, all right, what do we get in the magazine? Well, we get more how to build. Fiction about life in the Imperium, death in the Imperium, first founding chapters. Okay, so Hive Fleet adaptations. So I'm hoping it's more than just different colors, because right now it's just different colors. More fiction. And now we're getting into command points. So how do you use command points in the game? And the bring it down scenario, which again is going to put your librarian against the psychophage. Okay. Good, just general magazine. Alright, and then we've got our bases for the Termagants. The rest of the Termagant models. Let's just slide these over to the side. And we'll just go right into the magazine. Alright. How to paint your Termagants. Okay. This is a little frustrating. I realize that it's okay. It's new models. Or let me rephrase that. It's another set of models. But I'm hoping that they at least give some different instructions. You know, maybe something to make the unit a little unique. But so far it doesn't look like it. Which, that's fine. Alright, we've got more fiction, hive worlds, death worlds, successor chapters, shadow in the warp, some more tyrannids, data sheet abilities, and then the monster hunt scenario. Alright. So, again, more expansion, trying to give you different scenarios, different ways to play. You know, different situations that you're going to run into. So overall, not bad. All right, now comes kind of the crazy part. All right, so this is how they give you the premium add-on models. So remember, you pay a little bit extra per issue, and they give you some bonus models. So nice that it comes in a box. And, alright, basically we're going to get two models out of this. We're going to get a Brutalis Dreadnought and a Hive Tyrant. Obviously, we'll look at the magazine here in a second. So we've got our base, and we only have one base. So, I could probably call Games Workshop and get a replacement. I doubt Hachette would have replacement parts. I'm not sure how to reach out to them. I'll have to look at the website. But I also have a 3D printer. I've been trying to put everything on, like, official parts. But I think I might be a little too lazy to wait for an official base to come in. And I don't want to just buy a pack of bases at the Games Workshop store. So, I will probably just end up 3D printing a base. Might be a little fancier. We'll see. Look for the ADHD builds video. All right. So, we've got our Brutalis Dreadnought, essentially one giant frame, but lots of parts in here. I'm guessing enough variation for some build options. We'll look at that in the magazine. And then we've got the Hive Tyrant. So, we've got different arms, spike arms, lash whip, sword arms, barbed tail, giant sword arm, horned head. So giving you quite a few options on this. All right, this is going to be interesting. I wonder... All right, let's look at the magazine. Because I'm wondering if they actually will give you instructions for the options, or if they just tell you to build one particular setup. Let's take a look. And the assistant manager is taking the junior assistant off to help her out. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we're going to start with building the Hive Tyrant. And okay, they actually do not give you instructions for optional builds. Huh. Now I'm going to have to make a decision. Do I build it as is? Or do I customize it a little bit? I don't know. We're going to have to check it out. Same thing with the Brutalis Dreadnought. They do talk a little bit about points where you should glue or not glue in order to allow a little bit of reposing. I usually recommend pick a pose and then stick with it. Usually going to be better in the long run. All right, and then we've got how to paint Premium 1. So we've got pretty basic factory floor type painting. Interesting. They talk about paints like Reichland Flesh Shade Nuln Oil that they haven't sent out yet. I'm not sure if they are going to send them or what. This might want to delay a little bit before painting or come back to it after a while. Overall, pretty good, pretty detailed instructions. And then we've got a collect page for the Brutalis Dreadnought and a collect page for the Hive Tyrant. And then a mission briefing. Okay, so this is interesting. They give you a mission briefing that's actually more like your regular 10th edition missions. So, does go through Librarian or Chaplain and Captain in Terminator armor, Librarian in Terminator armor, 5 Infernus Marines, 5 Terminators, and a Brutalis Dreadnought. So, basically everything that you've received so far. Yeah, so I think this is basically supposed to be kind of your capstone. So you've got everything for the combat patrol. Now add these in and go nuts. So, and then I did forget to notice, here's the data sheet for the Brutalis. Cool. All right, so that is issues 14 through 18 plus premium set number 1. What do I think of it? Overall, it's a good, like, okay. This is a shipment that is really hard to complain about. You obviously get the magazines, which, at regular retail about $60 for the Termagant, about another $60 probably for the Psychophage. I didn't look the pricing up for that one. But then the Brutalis Dreadnought and the Hive Tyrant, which are going to be at least $60 each, plus the magazines, plus the paint. So we're about $240, $250, plus say another $10 for the magazine content. Honestly, this is the best deal. Even if you wanted to split the Dreadnought and the Hive Tyrant across the 5 shipments, even doing it that way, you're adding about $20 of value to each individual shipment. So with that said, honestly, I like it. I'm still happy with the subscription. It's giving you a good amount of material, stuff that's going to add on beyond the regular combat patrol, probably get you into that 1,000 point range. which is kind of like the base level of the regular game. And I think it's great. So there we go. There is issues 15 through 18 with the bonus. If you like the video, please do hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. For everybody else, thanks for being patient with the junior assistant. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.